My name is Geoffrey Boycott. I'm here to welcome you to this evening's dinner and to tell you a little bit more about Newby Hall Cricket Club. Newby Hall Cricket Club was founded in 1923, and the earliest records show games being played between Newby Hall and the likes of Ripon and Bishop Monkton. The earliest scorecard dates from a match between Newby Hall and Burton Leonard in April 1923. During those early years, Major Compton, grandfather of the current owner of Newby Hall, Mr. Richard Compton, was responsible for the cricket club, and being able to play cricket was a great help when applying for work on the estate. If only that was the case today. After the Second World War, the club drifted along fairly uneventfully until playing fortunes reached a low ebb in the mid-1960s. At this time, the club pulled out of Saturday League cricket and settled for playing Sunday friendlies and even cup competitions, if there is such a thing as friendlies at cricket. Crisis point was reached in 1969 when the players met in April to find that the secretary had ignored correspondence throughout the winter and no matches had been arranged for the season. I hope they sacked him. And there's no excuse for that. All it would have taken would have been a couple of pigeons. The club could have folded at this point, but the determination of late Wilf Ver, headed by the youthful energy of his sons, the late Peter and current club president Richard, plus Phil Jefferson, Stephen Selby and a few others, kept the club afloat. Things picked up in 1971 when Chris Farrell came onto the scene. Chris was an opening bowler in the Air Wharf League, but he lived on the edge of the Newby Hall estate, and Chris brought a determination to improve the club's status which rubbed off on the others. Youthful energy, stronger sides and a new pavilion led to league cricket, and the club joined the Nidderdale League in 1976. Promotion in consecutive seasons meant that by 1980 the club was playing First Division cricket and was soon fielding overseas players. Tim Park, a former club captain, had emigrated to Perth. In 1984 he sent across Mark Sterling, making Newby Hall the first Nidderdale League club to have an overseas player. Stirls was the first in a long line. In the following year, Australians Peter Muldrich and Mike Hayes, helped by a side skipper by Phil Jefferson, they helped them to their first Nidderdale League title. The retention of the title in 1986 gave the club great satisfaction, as did playing host to Yorkshire in 1987. The early 90s, under the captaincy of Richard Ver and Nick Kent, was another successful time for the club. Of particular note was a senior knockout success in 1991, in which overseas players Shane Smith and Tony Fitzgerald played their part, and the Division 1 triumph in 1992, when Simon Hubbard took nearly 70 league wickets. But nothing lasts forever, as they say. And when a number of these players retired, the club struggled and was relegated to Division 2 in 1995, where they remained until 2001. The new millennium saw foot and mouth decimate the county. The league cancelled promotions and relegations, but a lifeline was thrown to Newby by Studley Royal. Studley had decided to leave the Nidderdale League, and this meant one position was available in Division 1. Under the captaincy of Stuart Rennison, the club won the second division and was promoted. 3 years later, in 2004, the side captained by Ollie Uffindall, and which included Australian Mike Irvin, claimed the club's 4th Division 1 title. I am told that he's a good player, that Uffindall lad, one of Bollywood's finest. In 2006, all 3 Saturday teams won their respective divisions. The first 11 won the Nidderdale League First Division, the second 11 won the Division 5, and the third 11 won Division 8. Well done. This was the first time in league history that one club had won 3 separate divisions in the same season. The commemorative polo shirt showing the wrong year went down a storm. Which Muppet did that? The success in 2006 encouraged the club to build a new pitch for the third 11 to play their home fixtures on. Trevor Rose and Mick Robinson can both be particularly proud of the new ground. The last of the club's first division titles came in 2008, when a side led by Bollywood's brothers Matt Uffindall came out on top. The title was won on the last game of the season when the then chairman Steve Potter hit 3 consecutive sixes to beat Dacre Banks. Steve told me I had to mention that. 8 years on, and I know that you're still waiting for your next First Division title. As you'd expect, the crop of 2008 have moved on and the club is in a new phase, led by a talented group of young players, supported by a few old heads in the form of Chairman Tony Sidwell and the ever-youthful Michael Shires. Thanks to Ben and Sam Ryder, the club has a thriving junior section, and the commitment of club members to come together to improve your position is as strong as ever. This is something which over the last 40 years has set Newby Hall apart and which will help ensure it has a strong future. It's village cricket clubs like Newby that keep the game alive in this country, and as Newby Hall Cricket Club celebrate its 40th year of league cricket, you can all be proud of where the club has come from and what it's achieved. You can look back on some great successes, remember fondly those former teammates and the club members who are sadly no longer with us, and continue to enjoy friendships that have served the test of time. I take great pleasure in congratulating you all on what the club has achieved and wish you well for the future. I hope that you have a wonderful evening.